Today on Rappler, a fisherman in Basilan dies when his pump boat collides with a sea vessel belonging to U.S. troops. Senator Cheese Escudero admits warning his friend, President Aquino, against inordinate focus on Chief Justice Renato Corona. And former President Joseph Estrada talks about life, imprisonment, and the 2013 elections. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network, where stories inspire community engagement and digitally fueled actions for social change. Rappler comes from the root words rap, to discuss, plus ripple, to make waves. We at Rappler promise uncompromised journalism that hopefully inspires smart conversations and ignites a thirst for change. A fisherman was killed Wednesday night when a military vessel carrying American and Filipino troops collided with a fishing boat. In a statement, the U.S. Embassy confirmed the accident, saying it occurred during a routine maritime activity between Filipino and American soldiers. The fisherman's son was also injured when their motorized boat slammed into a military speedboat. A relative of the victim says the family will accept compensation since the tragedy was, in their words, unintentional. More than 600 U.S. troops are stationed in different parts of Mindanao since 2001 as part of their campaign to train, assist, and advise Filipino troops fighting terrorism. Well, China sends another surveillance ship to Scarborough Shoal, the third since tensions began more than a week ago. After the second confrontation, both sides agreed to focus on diplomacy. Department of Foreign Affairs spokesman Raul Hernandez claims the agreement was meant to diffuse the tension, but China's moves have only escalated it. Manila says it will bring up the issue once negotiations resume. Hernandez adds the Philippines can still pursue a case in the International Tribunal on the Law of the Sea, which the DFA sees as a great equalizer in the case, considering China's military power. Will former President Joseph Estrada run for mayor in Manila? Well, his birthday party Thursday brought together family and friends, lots of friends, or more appropriately, political allies from all political colors, including President Aquino, Vice President Binay, Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, Senator Miriam Santiago, and the widow of presidential candidate Fernando Poe Jr. On April 16th, Estrada said he was considering running for mayor of Manila. During the party, his former running mate and close political ally, Binay, says the public should wait for the 75-year-old leader to make up his mind. His son, JV Ejercito, believes his father has nothing left to prove. Later in the night, Erap gives an engaging speech with his trademark punchlines. Using impeachment lingo, he says, quote, his life career in public service can also be declared as sui generis, one of a kind. The former actor sums up his life, calling himself, quote, multi-awarded prisoner and a president removed illegally by conspiracy. He recalls people laughed at his English, saying they were unable to accept someone like him can become president. Estrada says that he has learned to forgive. That's why he says he is happy on his birthday. Well, here's an update on the continuing controversy in Baguio over the relocation of trees by the most popular mall chain in the country. On Wednesday, environmentalists in Baguio checked the earth-balled trees. They say mall giant SM did it all wrong. Find out why from Rappler's Natasha Gutierrez.
So ang tanong ko, sir, is this a DEN? Don't lawyer for, excuse me, don't lawyer for, I know you're a lawyer, don't lawyer for DNR.
Heated arguments between SM and protesters reach a new level. SM allows inspection of the site where trees were earthballed for the mall's expansion, but environmentalists are appalled at what they see.
One who did this is not knowledgeable on plant or tree morphology and physiology.
Beyond the boards around the mall, this is the view. Pine trees that have been earthballed are slowly dying since a temporary environment protection order has been issued by the court forcing SM to halt operations.
Very low survival at this point. With the TEPO, they said that they have stopped doing anything about it. Consistent also with the observation of the DNR people. They said that the drooping of the pine needles, the leaves of the pines are called pine needles. They are already drooping, they are yellowing. These are signs of eventual death.
Foresters say SM violated procedures too. The earthball trees are too old to be removed, and there are roots left sticking out without the protection of soil, depriving the tree of nutrients. This right here behind me is one of the trees that have been earthballed by SM. Environmentalists say that it was done wrong. For one, the diameter is wrong. It should actually be as wide as the crown of the tree. SM insists that a representative of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources was present to supervise the earthballing of trees on April 9 when it first started. But DENR officials present during the inspection say they were only there on the second day. Given what they believe was a poor earthballing job, protesters doubt that someone from DENR was even there at all. Even a DENR forester hesitates to say the procedure was done right.
Sir, ang tanong lang is tama pa, yes or no lang po, sir?
Nakikita ninyo naman, that is, we are still, the process of doing the earthballing is still ongoing. It's not completed.
On the site where the trees were relocated is another problem. SM says it has transplanted 41 alnus trees and 1 pine tree. But the group doubts the trees even have roots, saying it could have just been put there to appease them. The giant mall, however, insists it's only doing what the court has told them to do and that it was DENR that recommended the earthballing.
So, but since ang binigay po sa amin ng DENR para dito sa proyektong ito ay earthballing, we are really trying our best to earthball all these trees, at mailipat sa tamang paglilipatan niya. Being a publicly listed company, kami po ay sumusunod sa batas.
The temporary court order to stop the transfer of trees is diminishing the tree's chance of survival day by day. SM says it has a permit to move the burlap trees, but protesters are volunteering to rebury the roots themselves in the hope of possibly saving some. Yet, as the clock ticks and in the absence of a compromise between both parties, more earthball trees will have to wait and perhaps die. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Baguio City.
Well, still in Baguio, on his first day of high-altitude training, Manny Pacquiao avoids political questions, works out twice, and finds time for Bible study. Pacquiao will be in the City of Pines for the next 3 weeks before moving his training camp to Los Angeles to prepare for his June 5 fight with Timothy Bradley. When asked about the 2013 elections and a potential matchup against Floyd Mayweather Jr., the People's Champ only had this to say.
Bahala ng bukas. God's will. Anong gagawin natin?
Down in Taguig, di ba? We use the word
Senator Alan Peter Cayetano says the Corona impeachment trial is a better alternative to coup d'etats, political killings, and blackmail, but adds the trial is using up energy and resources that could have gone to nation building. Cayetano also tells Rappler the trial only underscores the fact that things are never black and white. A question from Twitter about Senator Cayetano's wife triggers an explanation about the controversy involving his wife in Taguig. Comelec ordered a recount of the elections for mayor in response to an electoral protest filed by Mrs. Cayetano's rival, Dante Tinga. Mayor Cayetano's camp barricaded City Hall to block efforts to retrieve ballot boxes for the recount.
Because there has always been cheating in Taguig, and ever since it has been our opponent who's been proven in court to have done that. My wife won fair and square. Even Chairman Brillantes said that there's no cheating and you cannot cheat with machines.
Yes.
So I'll throw back the question to our accusers. You can count the CF cards and they say you cannot cheat.
Yes.
Why are they insisting that they count the ballots, which were 45?
Senator Francis Escudero admits he warned President Benigno Aquino against what he calls the president's inordinate focus on the impeachment of Chief Justice Renato Corona.
I'm not in a position to ask, but not as a senator talking to a president.
Yes.
But perhaps as a person talking to his friend and as a conversation between friends, somehow I understand the pressures behind the president, people around the president wanting him to run after President Arroyo. If you keep on looking behind you, there's a big chance you won't reach where you want to reach simply because you might trip and fall.
You talked about one of the lessons from it. Speaking to Rappler Thursday, Escudero gave long overdue answers about his aborted stint for presidency in 2010. Escudero says it was not the right time to run for president. Well, speaking about the future, the senator was at times evasive and sometimes even cryptic. Political observers are closely watching to see if Escudero will join Aquino's Liberal Party or Vice President Binay's United Nationalists Alliance. Escudero campaigned for Aquino and Binay in the last presidential elections, but he now insists he has no stake in their political parties.
In 2016, for the simple reason that I'm halfway through my last term. And my firm belief has always been, once I lose in any public office for which I have run for, then you have to give it to the others. And that would be my the end of my stint in public service.
The new trailer for the popular online multiplayer game Medal of Honor features a mission that's all too real for many in the southern Philippines. The game takes place in Isabela City, in Basilan, 30 kilometers away from Albarca, the site of a daring mission against the Abu Sayyaf that ended in the grisly death of 19 fresh recruits. Gamers will play as operatives sent to rescue government workers taken hostage by terrorist group Abu Sayyaf. According to the game's website, it, quote, creates dotted lines to real-world events by featuring real-world terror threats in the game. This is not the first time Medal of Honor has used the Philippines. In 1999, it featured Jose Rizal as a playable character, and the fifth sequel, Medal of Honor Rising Sun, featured a mission called The Fall of the Philippines. Medal of Honor Warfighter will be released internationally in October 2012. Well, Filipino favorite Jessica Sanchez climbed American Idol's top 6 after a dramatic rescue by the judges in last week's elimination. The little girl with the big voice gave a soulful rendition of the Alicia Keys song Fallen, which was well received by the judges. Steven Tyler told Sanchez that with talent like hers, she has a right to get mad at a song. The other judge, Jennifer Lopez, said she was glad the judges saved Sanchez last week. Jessica also sang Otis Redding's Try a Little Tenderness, which got mixed reviews from the judges who urged her to connect with the audience. Idol's top 6 was completed with the shocking exit of Tennessee rocker Colton Dixon, who gave his version of Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. Dixon was considered a front runner since he was never in the bottom 3. Well, that's Rappler's Wrap for today, Friday, April 20th, 2012. Visit Rappler.com and tell us how you feel on our mood meter. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.